Cutters, Degrassi, unpopular opinions. I'll make that work. Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Dabbing, welcome you to another Degrassi unpopular opinion video. And this is kind of an unpopular opinion that the Reddit community has been wrestling over. And kind of contained in a recent post. Now, a post was done a while ago, 20 days ago, and this is being taped on February 14th, 2022 for context. Is an independent ad put up a post saying, do you think that Lucy should have taken Wheels to court for causing her injuries at the end of School's Out? And do you think she filed a lawsuit against him during the time between School's Out and Next Gen? And hope that Lucy took Wheels to court. So anyway, at the start of this, Rachel Violetta, who has been a contributor to many things, my video said that the state charged him for disabling Lucy, so he did get criminally charged. But it appears she didn't take him to court, but we never find out. And also, let's mention that Wheels was broke, had no family, was incarcerated. She wasn't going to get a dime. She couldn't take anything. So, obviously, Lucy would not have gotten anything. And all that. So that was a good post. But the problem is, the next paragraph that Rachel writes is kind of the inspiration for this unpopular opinion. Here it goes. I almost was irritated with her getting in the car with you when everyone saw him drinking all day, and her suggestion is, let's go get a bag of chips. You drive Wheels. Why ask a clearly drunk person to drive? Why didn't anyone stop that, since most of them were sober, including Snake and Joey? Joey was distracted by Caitlin finding about Tessa, but Snake should have known and stopped them, and even Bronco, because he was usually not far from Lucy. I think we were supposed to just get the message that kids don't always know a danger sign until it's too late, basically. But it was odd that Lucy, who had an alcoholic boyfriend in Clutch, didn't recognize that Wheels was clearly drunk, was seen drinking all day, and then wants him to drive her up to get some chips. It's just that bad. And then Pitiful Kaleidoscope said, the thing is, though, Lucy was sort of responsible for getting him in the car. She was the one who suggested they get chips. She knowingly entered a car with an intoxicated guy who was openly drinking as they were pulling out Broncos. Also, she had to know exactly how his parents have died, and she didn't connect the dots. As bad as Wheels saying, it's not my fault Lucy wanted chips was, there was some truth to it. So if Lucy were to file a suit against Wheels, this could have been brought up. So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah. Now, the problem with that also is because Rachel did not mention the fact that Wheels also had killed a kid in the backseat of the car that he hit. So he got Lucy some eye damage and all that. But the fact of the matter was that he crashed into someone else's car and killed a 2-year-old who wasn't fastened in with a seatbelt. But still, drunk driving is drunk driving. And Wheels tried to plead innocence, but that failed miserably. He served a lot of time in jail for his drunk driving thing. And drunk driving charges are a little bit too lenient in Canada nowadays. Years ago, we had a situation with this guy named Marco Musil, who came from a bachelor party in Miami drunk, and he still got into his fast car and crashed his car into a fan that had a grandfather and his 3 grandkids in it. And Jennifer Neville Lake was upset that her 3 kids, like the guy who killed her 3 kids, didn't get more than 10 years in jail and then got early parole, in a sense. So, of course, you know, Canada's not perfect and all that, especially in Ontario, where I live. But, yeah. But, of course, this brings up the unpopular opinion. And I want to talk about this opinion. Lucy was the one at fault for Wheels driving drunk in the first place. So Lucy was the catalyst for Wheels getting in that accident in the first place. Now, even if it was found out about it, and I think Wheels probably would have said something to the fact that Lucy wanted to get chips and, you know, all that. But I feel that Wheels might not have won his case because Wheels they could have just said, well, Wheels had to position to say no, and he never did. If Wheels said no, fair enough. But because Wheels normally went into the car driving drunk just to get chips and all that, he's accountable. And all of a sudden, he crashes. He gets this car crash, and he kills a 2-year-old, and he's now in prison for a while. The fact of the matter is that they're right. Wheels didn't really have a lot of money for himself, and he was estranged from his family, so they couldn't. So Lucy couldn't do that. And maybe Lucy felt guilty, thinking that, wait a minute, I did ask Wheels to get chips, even though he was drinking. Maybe I will get in trouble if I do that. Killer Diller. Good old Killer Diller on that one. So the fact of the matter is that, yeah, it's like puzzling. It's like, why would Lucy get a clearly drunk Wheels to drive her to the store to get some chips? There could have been other options to drive her to the store and all that. And Rachel was right, because they said that it was probably the moral that kids don't know about danger till it's too late. But still, it could have been avoidable. And I feel that it just wasn't meant to be. I mean, Wheels had to take responsibility for his actions, and he got in jail for a while. So yeah. But the fact of the matter is, Lucy was the one who caused this mess. Now that was kind of awkward for Lucy, getting Wheels to drive her to the store to get chips, even though he was intoxicated, and she saw him in an intoxicated state. And so I'm drinking a beer. Well, when she asked him, well, why would Lucy do that? That is completely out of character for her. I mean, she's a strong, independent woman and one of the first black strong characters in Degrassi history. But the fact of the matter is that it just doesn't make sense. Why would Lucy do that? It just don't make sense. Well, anyhow, I don't really have too much else to add to this, but, I mean, Lucy was kind of accountable, but in the end, I mean, Wheels did crash his car into someone else's car, killed a 2-year-old, and hurt Lucy. If Wheels had actually gone to the store and back without any incident, then, it's forgotten. But the fact of the matter is, he caused an accident by his intoxicated state. So he caused the accident that hurt Lucy and all that. And even if Lucy may have pulled back thinking, oh, wait a minute, what if they find out I asked Wheels for chips? What could that do for me? It doesn't excuse the fact that he killed somebody. He killed a child. And that's game, set, match. Like, no matter what happens, no matter how much Lucy gets blamed for things, Wheels was the one who killed the kid, and he served jail time. And that's the end of that. And Lucy, I don't think, would have been punished in the first place. And she should not have been. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.